Hello, grade 4 students. How are you? Welcome in your science class. As now, we will study lesson 3 from concept 2, unit 4. This is me, Shaimaa Hamdy, and you are watching the Big Sister channel. So, are you ready to start our lesson? Yes, we have activity 6, canyons and valleys. We have known that canyons are special type of valleys, yes, as we know the definition of canyon as it is a deep valley that curved by the flowing water, okay? So it is a special type of valleys. Okay, now we can study the similarities and differences between the canyons and valleys, okay? I will show you some videos and pictures about canyons at the beginning and then about the valleys, and then we will do the comparison between canyons and valleys. We will see the similarities and the differences between them, okay? First, we have the canyon. As you see here, the area that is rooted in mountain. As you see here, this is the area that is rooted in mountains. How it looks? Yes, as you see here, their walls are very high, as you see here, steep and narrow. Okay, so this area is narrow and it has very high walls and steep walls. Okay, also it consists of many layers of rocks. As you see here, this is many layers of rocks, okay? So, it consists of many layers of rocks, okay? This is about the canyons, okay? Now, we will see some videos and pictures for valleys, as we will know the differences between them. Okay, first, as you see here, yes, this lowland area, this is the valley, as it is a lowland area between mountains. Okay, so it is a lowland area between mountains. As you see here, in the left we have mountains, and on the right we have mountains, and there is an area that is lowland area. So this is the valley. Okay. Then the sides are steep or they gently sloped. As you see here, the sides are different from the sides of canyon, yes, as the canyon has a steep and high sides, okay, or walls. But here, they are gently sloped down, okay, gently sloped sides, okay, that usually surround a white, these sides surrounded what is the thing in between? Yes, white, okay, it's not narrow, okay, it's wide, flat, okay, plain, okay, this lowland, we call it plain. So here, there are gently sloped sides that usually surround a wide, flat plain, okay? So we can now compare between them. We saw the difference between them, the canyon and the valley. So the canyon area that is rooted in mountains, okay? First thing that the area in canyons are rooted in mountain, okay? But in valleys, it's a lowland area in between mountains, okay? This is the first thing, that the canyon is rooted in mountains, okay? In the mountains themselves, okay? But in the valleys, it's a lowland, okay? It's a plain, white, okay, area, and lowland in between the mountains, okay? The second point, okay, that the walls are very high, great depth, okay, steep and narrow in the canyons, as we saw, but in the valley, they have gently sloped sides, okay, that usually surround a wide, flat plain. A wide, okay, flat plain, okay. Here we have another point in the canyons that they contain many layers of rocks. So canyons have 3 points: area that is rooted in mountains. Their walls are very high, steep, and narrow. They contain many layers of rocks. But in valleys, they are lowland area in between mountains. They have gently sloped sides, usually surround a wide flat plain, okay? Those were the differences between the canyons and valleys. What are the similarities? Both of them have what? Yes, both of them can be formed by rivers and streams. Both of them can be formed by rivers and streams. Also, both of them often have rivers or streams flow through the lowest point, okay, as the deepest point in the canyon or the valley may or often have rivers or stream flow in this lowest point, okay? Okay. The last point in the canyons and valleys, you saw what that canyons and valleys are formed by the effect of the flowing water, as water causes weathering and erosion for this area or these mountains. So canyons and valleys are formed by weathering and erosion processes, okay? Okay. Now we will talk about the delta formation as activity 7, delta formation. First, we know delta is an area that formed by what? That the sediments settle down in this area, lay down on this area. So here delta is formed by the deposition process. It's not like the canyons and valleys, okay, as canyons, valleys are formed by the weathering and erosion processes. But here, delta is formed by the deposition process. Why? Because it is formed when the sediments settle down in this area that moved from one place to this place. So the sediments settle down in this area when a river meets a large water body as ocean or sea or lake, okay? So now we will watch videos that shows us how the delta is formed, okay? First, the first step, that the river flows very fast carrying sediments. Okay, so first step in the delta formation, that river flows fast carrying sediments. These sediments are called silt. Silt is made of very fine, okay, bits of sand, clay, or rock materials. So silt is made of very fine bits of sand, clay, or rock materials. As you see here, this is silt. It is type of sediments, okay? Very fine bits, very small particles, tiny particles. Okay, as the river flows, it carries more and more sediments, as you see here. Here, this river carries more and more sediments. And when the river meets another water body as lake or ocean or sea, what happens? As you see here, this is a river and there is the sea, okay? Okay, what happens? The speed of the flowing water decreases, okay? And this allow the silt to drop and form delta, as if the speed of the flowing water decreases, okay, what will happen? The silt dropped, settle down in this area, forming delta, okay? So here, to show you that when the river meets with other water body, as lake, as ocean, so the speed of the river decreases, and this allowed what? The sediment to drop, forming delta. As you see here, this is two examples. As here in the first picture is the sediments dropped, forming delta. Okay, this brown color is the sediments, okay? And also here in the Nile Delta, the sediment dropped, forming delta, okay? We can say that delta formation starts from rivers and streams which flow fast, carry sediments called silt. As the river flows, it carries more and more sediments until what? Yes, until it becomes full of sediments, okay? When the speed of river decreases, it drops the sediments, which is silt, forming delta, okay? Most deltas formed when fast flowing water enters slower moving water, as ocean, okay, as the flowing water in the ocean is slower than the river, okay? So most delta formed when fast flowing water, which is river, enters slower moving water as ocean, or still water. What's the meaning of still? Water that doesn't move, okay? So still water as what? As lake. Okay, we have two pictures here, as the river, which is fast flowing water, enters the ocean, which is slow flowing water. So here the sediment settle down and form delta. Also in picture B, as you see here, when the river, which has fast flowing water, enters the lake, which contains still water, water that doesn't move. So here the sediments settle down, okay, and form delta. Here we have some notes, as large wetlands are formed in deltas. As you see here, the wetlands are the lands that has water, okay, in their soils, okay, as we see here in these pictures. And the plants in the wetland, as you see in the second picture, has an important role in the deposition process, in the settling down of sediments and forming delta. We will know the role of the plants now. As we have a question, give reasons for plants that grow in the wetlands found in deltas increase deposition process. How these plants that found in deltas increase the deposition process, okay, as more and more sediments settle in this area, okay? Why? The answer, as you see here, this is a wet land, okay, as it is a land that has plants, tall plants, okay, and the soil is wet, has water in it. Okay, let us answer the question. Plants that grow in wetlands found in deltas increase the deposition process because two reasons, okay? First, because the plants are partly responsible for slowing down the rivers, as the plants causes what? The river to slow down. So if the speed of the water flow decreases, okay, that causes what? Yes, the sediments to be settled more and form delta, okay? So here, the plants are partially responsible for slowing down the river water, okay? And the other reason, the plant's roots, okay, help in trapping sediments. The roots of these plants trap, okay, these sediments, okay, as these plants' roots surround these sediments, okay, or trap these sediments, okay. The two reasons for how the plants that grow in the wetlands found in deltas increase the deposition process as because the plants are partly responsible for slowing down the river water, and the plant's roots help in trapping the sediments, okay? Now you study an example for a delta as the Nile River Delta. This Nile River Delta is one of the most famous deltas in the world, okay? As you see, it has triangular shape, okay? It lays between Cairo and the northern coast of Egypt, okay? And it is formed as a result of the fast or rapid flow of the Nile River, okay? As this rapid flow of the Nile River causes what? Yes, to carry more sediments, more and more sediments, okay? Okay, and it is characterized by presence of fertile soil. What's the meaning of fertile soil? Soil that is very good for plants, okay? So it is characterized by the presence of fertile soil that allows cultivation. Cultivation means planting, okay? Agriculture of different types of crops, okay? So this Nile River Delta is characterized by presence of fertile soil that allows the cultivation of different types of crops. And here, as you see, this is cultivation, farming, agriculture, planting. All of these are meanings for the word cultivation. And we can divide this word into k, a, l, kal. Then we have cultivation. With this information, we finished our lesson. So thank you for watching. See you next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. And goodbye.